Good evening, Hope High School.
Good evening, everyone. We are
Good evening.
so glad to be here.
Good evening, everyone.
So we are here for our usual end of the term town hall, where we're going to share a lot of information with parents today. But what is unusual today is this is going to be a first in a series of data decision days for parents to kind of actually know some of the important data that has our school running and about their own students and just a lot of the metrics that many schools and school districts don't normally share with parents. And we think that it's kind of important that you know this information so that you can help us make great decisions for your students. We really actually want to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah. Before we get started, though, we realize that we do have some parents that may be tuning in who haven't met us before. And so we'll go ahead and go around and introduce ourselves, starting with Mrs. O'Connell.
Hello, I am Marina O'Connell, and I am the principal of Hope High School, and I am so excited to serve your students.
I'm Chris Bienerkemper. I am the assistant principal of Hope High School, and just looking forward to hearing what our parents have questions about tonight.
And I'm the Dean of Students, Edwin Portillo. I can't wait to hear from you guys and what you have to say. Any questions, please post them in the comments, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability.
Thank you. Here's our special presentation, our virtual town hall and data decision day. Our agenda is we'll be preparing for term 3. We're going to go ahead and review our usual school area pandemic benchmarks. We'll let you know what our decisions were in term 3 updates. And of course, term 3 starts November 2nd, right after Halloween. And we'll talk about scheduling for the on-site learning lab. After that, we're going to talk about the data-driven decisions like I had mentioned. We'll learn about course completions and attendance. And finally, we're going to talk about wrapping up term 2 because it's about to be over next week, and all about submitting completed courses and submitting your time. And of course, as Mr. Portillo said, we'll be answering questions throughout in the chat, as well as any questions that we'll answer at the end as well.
So we have, as you know, if you've tuned into these live streams before, we've reviewed our areas near the school that pertain to us in terms of COVID numbers. And so what we have done is we've looked at the different numbers. There's a lot on this data, but I wanted to, before I do this, I wanted to show the reason we're looking at these particular zip codes is because our enrollment. So here's a quick little map. Just wanted to show you and be transparent. These zones are the different zip codes that our students live in. And the ones that are kind of a darker pink or orange, those are zip codes where more of our students live in. So we took the top 5 zip codes, any zip code with 10 or more students in it, and we looked at the metrics for those areas. And this is what we found. The bright yellow is the metric, of course, we're looking for this week here. The bright yellow is the metric, that's the level that we're looking for in order to open up the school. Every section should be bright yellow. If it's orange or red, it's still in that little danger zone. We're seeing a lot of increases in numbers over the course in all of these zip codes. The only zip code that's seen any overall increase has been the 85339 or the Levine zip code. But otherwise, most of them have seen some sort of an increase, including Tolleson, the Unified School District. And I will hand it over to Mrs. O'Connell, who will kind of go into term 3 updates.
Okay. As a result of a lot of things going on in our community, including the fact that nearby school districts, Tolleson and Phoenix Union, have decided to go ahead and remain online until their return after the first semester. We really wanted to analyze data and make sure that students were safe, that they weren't bringing anything home to their families, and that our teachers and staff members were also safe. And based on those numbers and talking it over with leadership and the board of directors, we had to make the decision to go ahead and stay remote, but with some enhancements. And I kind of want to tell you about that. So in the first column, you can see that we're going to continue remote learning. Online courses will be in Edgenuity and Alex like usual, and students who are doing the offline modality, they're going to still be able to get their offline work packets, and attendance will still be submitted through time logs. We are going to continue virtual office hours and enrichment. Students will be able to Zoom with all their teachers together now, and we'll be doing some cool breakout sessions and activities all in one just to get more students together. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 to 10 a.m. and 1 to 2 p.m. We will share the link on our student portal so that once term 3 starts, you'll be able to log into that link every day at those, or every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at those times, and meet with your teachers. You'll also get to hang out with your friends, get help, and earn extra credit, which is pretty awesome. One of the big changes for term 3 is that we're going to have an enhanced on-site learning lab. So students are going to be able to schedule 2-hour blocks on campus for extra teacher support or a quiet workplace, which has been the case. But also now students who need daily on-campus support may be assigned a regular 4-hour on-campus schedule. And I'll let you know a little bit more about that in a bit. Remember, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We would love to elaborate and share more. So in terms of our enhanced learning lab scheduling, there are 2 on-campus learning lab options. First, you can have the same option as currently, the 2-hour time slot. Students can schedule as needed from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have every 2 hours. You can schedule a time slot and work with a teacher and get some support and sit in a quiet, safe place. Now, the second option is per teacher recommendation. Some students are going to be scheduled for a regular daily 4-hour AM or PM shift if they need it, if the teacher feels that that extra support will really help those students finish their classes successfully. Now, I do want to let you know that if you as a parent feel that your student needs a regular daily 4-hour shift, and they are able to attend regularly and they're healthy and they feel comfortable, please go ahead and let us know, and we will go ahead and speak to an advisor, and if there is available space, we'll do that for you.
A point of clarification on the learning lab. It is not, although it does sound like attending school like normal, it is not as usual. It's not periods. It is one room schoolhouse sort of thing. Students will be working independently. There is a teacher stationed in the room to monitor and keep everyone safe. They, of course, can provide support as they are able to, but it may or may not be the content that the student has. So it will be a little different than what you might expect from a normal scheduled class time. But it is sometimes, for some students, all you need is having that time and space and having a teacher there available to you. So, and if you have questions, of course, reach out to us. Thanks for clarifying. That's real important, Chris.
Next, we're in the data decision part of our presentation. We wanted to go ahead and transparently share some really important data with all of our families. Some of these numbers are surprising, or maybe surprising to you, but they're the reality of what we've been dealing with, not only as a result of COVID, but just in general. And so I just kind of want to share where we are right now. This is term 1 course completion data. Basically, any term 1 courses that have been completed as of today. As we can see here, we've separated our online students and our offline students to see kind of the data about that, and then we've combined them together. So first of all, for our online students, 134 courses have been completed out of 403 courses assigned. The completion percentage is 33%. For our offline students, the courses completed has been 30 out of 103 assigned. That's 29%. Pretty close, and unfortunately not where we'd like to be. In terms of putting the numbers together, that's 164 out of 506 courses completed from term 1, even though we're approaching the end of term 2. And we are available. Right now, teachers have been having video classes 4 days a week. They have been reaching out to students by phone, by email, in every way that they can to invite students to virtual classes, to virtual tutoring sessions, to come on in, to have into the learning lab if needed, to change modality, to get any kind of help to support students through completion of those courses. And so we really need your help, parents. That's why we're presenting this data to you. We need your help. We need your ideas. We need you to help us with some solutions. We have worked on improving courses, making them shorter, making them more fun. But we do need your help. A lot of times course completion data is aligned with attendance data, so we wanted to go ahead and take a look at that as well. Let's look at our attendance data, please. So here's attendance data, also up to the most recent point of collection. So we haven't collected this week's data, of course, and we just came back from fall break. And so we have attendance that's been collected through October 7th. So it pretty much corresponds with the term 1 course completion data that we showed you. So in terms of online students, our average days present were 26 days so far in the school year. And that is, and the average attendance percentage was 65%. For our offline students, their percentage was a little bit better. Their average days present were 31.6. And just as a reference, at that point, we were 47 days into the school year. And their average attendance rate was 89%. That's significantly higher. Bringing the average attendance to 72%. And so while students are attending daily, they aren't necessarily spending the time on their courses, as you can see, or that's what we imagine, because the attendance rates here are 65, 72, 89%. But if you're to look at the course completion data, we're right around 30%. So that's just interesting data to look at. I'm sure as you look at it, you might see some different things than what we see, and we'd love to hear any of your opinions about it. Finally, this is perhaps the most interesting and informative to parents right here. The other information affects us, but this really affects you and how you can support your students. If you look here on the bottom, in the first 4 columns especially, where we have students of all grades, the first 3 columns really do have students of all grades. If you look, students who have completed 0 classes down at the bottom have the lowest average of attendance. And then those who have completed 1 class have the next higher average of attendance. And the students who have completed 2 classes have higher attendance. And the students who have completed 3 classes have higher attendance. Now the 4, 5, and 6, those are outliers because that's just 1 or 2 kids. And so, or those are actually probably 3 or 4 kids rather. And Mr. B is going to show you kind of the scatter plot of that in just a second so you can see that. But the majority of our kids fall in that range of completing no classes, 1 class, 2 classes, and 3 classes. All students should have completed 2 or 3 classes by now, actually, because we're approaching the end of term 2. And by the end of term 2, they should have completed 4 classes.
Yeah, so as Mrs. O'Connell said, the students who have completed 4, 5, and 6 classes are few and far between. It's 4 students exactly, actually. And so this is a different visual for you to see the range of where it lies. While just because a student has good attendance doesn't mean they have completed their courses, we definitely see that students who have completed their courses tend to have better attendance. And so we want to make sure and encourage our parents to encourage their students to log that time every day, to spend time doing their courses. Because if you don't spend time doing the courses, you certainly won't finish them. And while it seems slightly obvious, it is interesting to see these numbers. And we were looking at this today, and we were quite not blown away, but it was just thought-provoking. So
Truly. What we have learned from students in the past who have taken these very same courses and are similar to the students we have in the present is if you put the hours in and you put the time in, you can complete the course very quickly. And so I encourage both attendance in the courses, meaning getting them done and working on them, and just actually spending some real time and effort. Because every time you step away and you don't put all your time into it, then you have to remember, and it takes time to do that, and it's not effective for you. We want you to succeed. We know that you can. We know the courses are doable. We do. And we're here to help you. But so few students are accepting our help. And the students that do accept our help, well, they're passing all their classes. And that's just what's happening. Because in reality, if you take the help and if you reach for the opportunities, then that's when you succeed. And we need our kids to accept the opportunities that we're trying to provide. And so parents, this is us asking you, tell us how we can help your kids accept the opportunities that we're giving them to help them finish their classes successfully.
One note that is very important, especially as today is the 22nd. Term 2 does end next Friday. And so Term 1 courses, unfortunately, do need to expire on next Friday. So what that means is they'll be disabled. I think we have it later in the presentation, but they will earn an F. And so why this is important right now is because we want to show you how to go ahead and submit those courses as soon as possible. If you're not sure, students or parents of what that looks like, that's what we want to share with you. So as we're going into wrapping up Term 2, it's very important that you do take the time to finish up that last cumulative exam and then contact your teacher. Your teacher is the only person who can submit your completed course because they're the one responsible to issue the grade. There it is. I jumped the gun, I'm sorry. It is very important that we take this time, hurry up and finish those classes. And one of the main reasons they're finishing up the next Friday is so that students don't spend their whole year finishing up their Term 1 classes. And so we're working to provide this sense of urgency. They will expire at the end of next week, and there will be an F issued. Now, of course, if there is room in your schedule later on, you will be reissued the class, and you'll be able to continue that course depending on what your progress was before, so that you can replace that F. Now, of course, you have to be at Hope High School to do that. If you leave Hope High School, you take the F with you. But we don't want that to happen. So we encourage you to finish up those classes. Many of the classes are within range to finish by next Friday, but it will take work. It will take work. So please reach out to your teachers now for help. I know they have virtual classes, one last virtual class next week. Every student should probably have 2 different virtual classes throughout the week, and I'm sure that the teachers would be willing to meet with you outside of those if necessary. But reach out, take advantage of this time. This is your last kind of hurrah to get it going. Once Term 3 comes around, if all of your Term 2 courses are complete, then you get 2 new classes. Whatever your modality is, it'll be online or on paper, depending on you. And so that'll be great. You'll have 2 new courses depending on your grade level and your needs and your graduation plan. If one of your Term 2 courses is incomplete, we're going to issue you what's called a study skills course. And this has been pretty successful in this term. We were just looking at the numbers today. Many of the students who have had a study skills class have actually finished more classes, which is fantastic. And so this is to provide you extra support from another teacher without giving you too much extra work. And you get a credit for it, right? So they will meet with you weekly, theoretically, and reach out to you weekly. And then you get a credit, but you also, are working on your old classes. So we highly encourage you to take advantage of that if you aren't able to finish both of your Term 2 classes, to reach out, get that support. We have had some students who have finished all of their Term 1 and Term 2 classes now, which is great. So now they're caught up and they're ready to go for Term 3 because they had that extra time. For Term 2 classes, though, it's very important. Just like Term 1 had to be done by the end of Term 2, October 30th, Term 2 courses will need to be done by the end of Term 3, which is December 16th. And we don't want to be dragging classes along through the year. It's just not healthy for you as a student, and it's not fair. So, all right. So on attendance, it's very important that you turn in your time logs. This is the way we take attendance. While we do pull from Edgenuity and Alex, our curriculum systems, for a backup, it's important that you are reporting your time, because you may be meeting with your teacher. You may be meeting with another student virtually to go over some homework or whatever. You could be doing some offline paperwork we don't know about, and that's great. We want you to report the time that you're working, because any time log, even just 1 minute of time logged in a day, maybe just checked in on your class to see where you're at, that counts as attendance. And so it's very important for you and for us to do that. Reporting your attendance is extremely easy. We've made it very, very easy. You're going to go to hopehighschool.org and click on students. That will take you to the student portal. And you're going to click on this lovely blue icon. Looks like 2 diamonds with some mountains on it. And that's our Bling icon, or Bling button. It'll take you to a new page where you can log in. And even if you don't remember your login information for anything else, you will remember your login information for this page, because it's just your birth date and your last name. Very, very easy to remember, hopefully. Once you log in, you'll see a couple of different options. You can see your course list and your teacher contact information. You can see virtual class links. You can see your academic advisor, your login information. And most importantly for this demonstration, you can see your time logs. So click on My Time Logs, and then you'll see 3 view buttons. In the past, they haven't always been correct dates, but they will be moving forward, and we thank you for your patience. You'll see any previously submitted time logs below in that table there. It's kind of hiding. But you'll also see 3 buttons. You'll see 1 button for the current week. You'll see 1 button for the previous week in case you missed it, and 1 last button that has no dates on it in case you wanted to just do individual dates, and that's perfectly fine. We will send you a reminder every Friday, just like we have been. We'll send you another one tomorrow afternoon, which has a link directly to this section of the Bling page for you to submit your time. And please use that. It's very important for you, very important for us. It tells us that you're working, you're committed to doing your stuff. Parents, it's very easy to submit this time log. Technically, it does need a signature from a parent or guardian, so just to verify. But we just need you to submit that time log. When you click on those 2 blue buttons, either one of them, it pre-fills the dates and times for you. We're just pre-filling them based on what we're assuming you're working on, right? And so if that's about accurate, then go ahead and submit it. And if it's not, then do some modifications. But take the first step, go in there, and take care of that for us, if you would.
Thank you. That's really important. We appreciate it.
And that brings us to the end of our presentation. Unless there's anything else that we needed to add, I don't think we missed anything.
There aren't any questions right now. Just
okay.
Good evening, hi. But thank you very much, guys.
Yes. Oh, who's saying hi?
Alex Felton says hi.
Hello, Alex. Nice to hear from you.
And Stacy Proctor says good evening.
Hi, Stacy. Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
One thing I do want to let parents know, just for those who may not be aware, attendance is really important, because state law says that if you've missed 10 school days in a row, which means you haven't even logged 1 minute, then we have no choice but to withdraw you. And so that becomes inconvenient, and we certainly don't want to do that to you. So please make sure you log your attendance every day.
Absolutely. I mean, feel free to call the school. If you have anything, we want to hear from you guys. Call us, let us know what's going on, and whichever way we can help you get your student to be successful in their courses. I know it's a difficult and trying time, but where there's a will, there's a way. So please reach out to us. We want to hear from you guys.
One more thing that I wanted to say: you will be receiving by phone call a couple of survey questions coming up. If you just do us a favor and listen to the questions and just respond by pushing one of the buttons, that will just give us some information that might help us improve outcomes for students. We are always looking to improve outcomes for students, and who knows them better than you? Nobody. And so we are asking for your expertise with your kids so that we can become experts with your kids and really help them the best that we can.
If you're viewing this recorded and you didn't get a chance to ask your question, please give us a call. Our number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen, 623-772-8013. That will ring to our front office and advising office, and you can ask either Miss Irene, Miss Zoe, Mr. Aguilera, or Mr. Junio your question, and they'd be happy to answer it for you. And if they don't know the answer, they will find the person who does. But we are here to support you and your student. We know it's a crazy time right now. We appreciate your patience through everything. We will be doing another town hall next Thursday. That'll be October 29th, same time, same place, 6:30 p.m. Facebook or YouTube, Hope High School Diamonds. And it will be more or less the same presentation. However, if we have any updates, we will gladly share them with you. And if you have any questions, that's a great time to ask them. And we hope that you have a wonderful evening. And without further ado, have a good night.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.
We love you, Diamonds.